I remember waking up in the middle of a July heat wave, drenched in sweat, while my cheap box fan rattled like a jet engine without actually producing a breeze. Finding a cooling fan that actually lowers room temperature without sounding like a construction site is incredibly frustrating. We've all wasted money on plastic towers that do nothing but blow warm air around. That's why I bought, rigorously tested, and pushed the most popular fans on the market to their absolute limits. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which fan will turn your living room into an icebox, and which best-selling model completely failed our airflow tests. Let's dive in. 10. LEVOIT Tower Fan for Bedroom. When I first brought the LEVOIT Tower Fan into a testing space, I had high hopes based on its sleek aesthetics alone. It looks like a premium piece of technology that belongs in a modern bedroom, blending right into the background without drawing unnecessary attention. The unboxing experience was incredibly straightforward, and getting the tower snapped together on its two-piece base took only a matter of minutes. I positioned it near the foot of my bed, fully expecting a rush of Arctic air the moment I pressed the power button to relieve the summer heat. LEVOIT markets this unit as a high-velocity, bladeless oscillating standing fan designed specifically to push air quietly throughout a sleeping space. It features multiple speed settings, a timer, and a dedicated sleep mode that gradually reduces the fan speed to keep you comfortable without waking you up. The controls are touch-sensitive and located conveniently on the top of the unit, and it comes with a simplistic remote that covers all the basic functions you would need during the night without having to get out from under the covers. However, actually living with this fan over a few nights revealed some glaring issues that I simply could not ignore during my testing. While the bladeless design is undeniably safe for households with curious pets and young children, it severely bottlenecked the actual air output. I found myself constantly having to crank it up to the maximum speed just to feel a noticeable breeze from a few feet away, and at that setting, the motor produces an irritating, high-pitched mechanical whine. Furthermore, the oscillation mechanism developed a very faint but persistent clicking sound at the apex of its rotation, which became a frustrating focal point of annoyance in an otherwise completely silent room. 9. DREO Fan for Bedroom. Moving on to our next contender, I was genuinely excited to test this baseline DREO fan for the bedroom, considering the brand's usually stellar reputation in the home appliance space. Setting it up in a medium-sized guest room, the initial visual impression was positive. It maintains a slim, unobtrusive profile that doesn't demand much floor space. I was eager to see if this entry-level model could punch above its weight class and deliver the kind of robust cooling performance that we typically expect from higher-end air circulators. This model boasts a customizable airflow experience featuring an adjustable oscillating base and multiple fan speeds designed to cater to your specific comfort needs. It utilizes an optimized air duct design intended to minimize noise while maximizing the reach of the breeze it produces. The interface is highly intuitive, offering a straightforward LED display that auto-dims after a short period, which is a thoughtful inclusion for light sleepers who are easily bothered by artificial light in their sleeping environments. Despite the thoughtful interface, the physical performance during our rigorous heat tests left a lot to be desired. The airflow is incredibly localized, meaning that if you aren't sitting directly within its relatively narrow path, you won't feel the benefits of the fan at all. More concerningly, the physical build quality feels surprisingly flimsy compared to the brand's premium offerings. The plastic housing creaks slightly when you lift it by the handle, and the base lacks the weighted stability needed to prevent it from wobbling noticeably when pushed to its highest operating speed. This specific fan might serve as an acceptable, budget-friendly option for a tiny dorm room or a highly confined workspace where you sit mere inches from the unit. However, if you're looking to actively cool down a stagnant bedroom or provide relief in a muggy living room, this model simply lacks the horsepower required to get the job done. 8. Dyson Hot+Cool IM09. Testing the Dyson is always an interesting experience because you are instantly struck by the sheer luxury and futuristic design of the unit. Placing it in the center of the room, it functions almost like a modern art sculpture rather than a traditional home appliance, completely devoid of fast-spinning blades or bulky safety grills. I was highly curious to see if the legendary engineering behind the Dyson name could justify the notoriously steep price tag it commands on the market. The AM09 is famously a dual-purpose machine equipped with Dyson's patented air multiplier technology and jet focus control, allowing you to choose between a focused, personal stream of air or a wider, diffused mode to mix the surrounding air. It provides intelligent thermostat control for the heating function, monitoring the room to reach and maintain your target temperature perfectly. The remote control is elegantly curved and magnetized, designed to store neatly directly on top of the machine, so you never have to worry about misplacing it in your couch cushions. While the heating function is genuinely incredible and arguably best in class, utilizing this machine purely for summer cooling yields incredibly underwhelming results. Because it lacks traditional fan blades, it relies on forcing a smaller volume of air through a narrow aperture, which simply does not generate the shear wind force necessary to cool down a sweltering room. Additionally, when you increase the cooling speed to levels 7 through 10 to compensate for the weak airflow, the acoustic experience is incredibly loud, generating a rushing, wind tunnel noise that completely disrupts television watching or phone conversations. If your primary goal is to find a beautifully designed space heater that can double as a gentle, personal breeze generator in the warmer months, the AM09 is an interesting luxury purchase. But if you are watching this video to find a dedicated, high-performance cooling fan to survive a brutal summer heatwave, this machine will leave you disappointed and sweaty. Seven, DREO Nomad One. Stepping back into the realm of dedicated cooling towers, the DREO Nomad One has garnered massive popularity, and I was eager to put it through our testing gauntlet. Straight out of the box, it feels like a substantial upgrade in build quality compared to the earlier baseline models we tested, featuring a sleek, matte black finish that completely resists annoying fingerprint smudges. I set it up in the living room during a particularly warm afternoon to see how well it could handle a larger, open-concept living space. The Nomad One is engineered with a powerful motor that drives an advanced impeller wheel, designed to pull in large volumes of air and push it out with impressive velocity. It offers 4 distinct fan speeds, a massive 90-degree oscillating angle to sweep across wide rooms, and 4 unique operating modes, including a highly customized sleep mode. The front grille is specifically designed to easily detach, making the usually tedious chore of cleaning out accumulated dust and pet hair an absolute breeze. During our testing, the Nomad One proved to be a remarkably competent and quiet machine, moving a satisfying volume of air even on the medium settings. However, it isn't entirely without its minor frustrations. The power cord is surprisingly short, drastically limiting your placement options unless you are willing to string an ugly extension cord across your floor. Additionally, while the LED display is clear and bright, the touch buttons on the top panel lack tactile feedback, making it surprisingly difficult to change settings in the dark without accidentally turning the whole unit off. 6. PELONIS 40-inch Tower Fan. The PELONIS Tower Fan immediately commands attention due to its impressive height, making it one of the tallest cooling solutions in our testing lineup. I positioned it in the corner of my home gym, figuring the elevated height would be perfect for pushing air over workout equipment and keeping me cool while standing. The assembly required a few screws to secure the heavy base, but once built, it felt incredibly stable and robust, ready to tackle serious air circulation duties. What sets this PELONIS model apart from the pack is its innovative, easy-to-clean design, featuring a fully washable rear filter that captures airborne dust and prevents the internal motor from getting clogged over time. It boasts 3 speed settings, 3 distinct wind modes, and a wide-angle oscillation feature designed to distribute cold air rapidly across expansive areas. The fan also comes equipped with an easy-to-read LED display that prominently shows the current ambient room temperature, which is a fantastic feature for monitoring how well the fan is actually cooling the space. In practice, this fan moves a formidable amount of air, and the extra height ensures that the breeze actually hits your upper body rather than just cooling your ankles like shorter models do. The main drawback I encountered during testing is that the ambient temperature display is incredibly bright and, inexplicably, cannot be fully disabled during operation. If you're someone who requires a pitch-black room to fall asleep, this fan acts as a towering blue nightlight that will absolutely keep you awake, forcing you to cover the display with a piece of tape. If you can overlook the glaring display issue or plan to use it primarily in daylight environments like a living room or gym, The PELONIS 40-inch is a fantastic piece of equipment. 5. DR.PREPARE Tower Fan for Bedroom. When I unboxed the DR.PREPARE Tower Fan, I was immediately struck by its highly unconventional dual-motor aesthetic that looks radically different from anything else on the market. It consists of 2 independently adjustable cooling sections stacked on top of each other, allowing for a surprisingly compact footprint that easily fits onto a bedside table or a cramped office desk. I was fascinated to see if this unique, segmented design actually translated to better cooling performance, or if it was merely a visual gimmick. This portable oscillating fan utilizes dual independent fans that can be adjusted to blow air in completely different vertical directions simultaneously, offering unparalleled directional control. It features 3 speed options, a wide 108-degree oscillation radius, and an ultra-quiet brushless motor designed specifically to minimize mechanical noise during nighttime use. The front grills are completely bladeless, providing peace of mind for parents, while the entire unit remains lightweight enough to effortlessly carry from room to room with one hand. Testing this unit was a genuinely pleasant surprise, as the dual fans work in tandem to create a remarkably strong and wide wall of air that drastically outperforms its small physical size. Because you can tilt the top half upwards, you can actively cool your face while the bottom half cools your torso, creating a personalized microclimate that feels amazing on a hot day. The only noticeable downside is the overall material quality. The outer casing is made of a lightweight, somewhat cheap-feeling plastic that feels like it might easily crack if accidentally knocked off a high table. Despite the slightly budget-friendly build materials, the DR.PREPARE fan offers an incredible value proposition based purely on its versatile performance. It entirely lacks advanced smart features or remote controls, but it makes up for it with raw, directional cooling power that adapts to your exact seating position. 4. DREO Nomad One S. Returning to the DREO ecosystem, I upgraded my testing to the Nomad One S, specifically to evaluate how smart home integration impacts the overall cooling experience. Visually, it shares the same sleek, refined DNA as the standard Nomad One, but underneath the casing, it is packed with Wi-Fi connectivity and advanced acoustic engineering. I set this up in the master bedroom to see if the convenience of voice control and app scheduling could truly elevate the basic act of running a fan. The Nomad One S connects seamlessly to the DREO smartphone app, granting you total control over its 4 speeds, multiple modes, and oscillation angles from anywhere in the world. It fully integrates with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, meaning you can adjust your room's temperature using simple voice commands without ever having to lift a finger. Furthermore, DREO has implemented an algorithm-driven sleep mode that mimics natural wind patterns while actively monitoring ambient room temperatures to adjust its own speed automatically throughout the night. The performance of this fan is exceptionally smooth, delivering a sweeping, uninterrupted stream of air that feels incredibly refreshing without being overly aggressive. The chic convenience of climbing into bed and simply asking Alexa to turn the fan on and set a timer is a game changer that makes traditional remotes feel obsolete. The only slight hiccup I experienced was that the smartphone app occasionally lost connection to my Wi-Fi network, requiring a quick reboot of the application to regain control of the fan's advanced scheduling features. Taking everything into consideration, the Nomad One S takes a proven, high-performing physical design and perfectly supercharges it with modern smart technology. The automated sleep mode genuinely improves sleep quality by preventing the room from getting too cold in the early morning hours. 3. Wilody Portable Camping Fan. For our number 3 spot, I wanted to test something radically different to see how cooling technology is evolving outside the traditional home environment. The Wilody Portable Camping Fan is a massive, rugged, battery-powered beast designed to bring living room levels of comfort into the great outdoors or to serve as a vital backup during severe power outages. Unboxing this unit, I was immediately impressed by its heavy-duty construction, featuring a sturdy hanging hook, a wide anti-slip base, and an industrial-looking safety cage. The defining feature of this fan is its staggering 42,800 mAh rechargeable battery, which not only powers the high-velocity fan blades for days on end, but also acts as a massive power bank to charge your smartphones and tablets. It boasts automatic oscillation, stepless speed regulation to find the exact perfect breeze, and a brilliantly bright integrated LED lantern with multiple brightness settings. The motor itself is engineered to provide powerful air circulation while remaining surprisingly quiet, ensuring it won't drown out the sounds of nature when you are out in the woods. Testing this fan on a muggy outdoor patio completely changed my perspective on portable cooling. It pushes an incredible volume of air that easily combats the thick, stagnant heat of a summer afternoon. The battery life is truly remarkable, easily lasting through an entire weekend camping trip of continuous use without ever needing to see a wall outlet. The only reality you have to accept with this device is the charging time, because the battery capacity is so immense. It takes the better part of an entire day plugged into a wall to reach a full 100% charge. 2. DREO TurboPoly Fan 353. Unboxing this unit reveals a piece of equipment that looks more like a high-tech turbine engine than a standard household fan, mounted on a sleek pedestal base. I placed this in the largest, most difficult to cool room in my house, fully intending to push its heavy-duty motor to the absolute limit to see if it could genuinely replace my reliance on air conditioning. The TurboPoly Fan 353 features an incredible multi-directional oscillation system, capable of moving its head simultaneously up, down, left, and right to bounce air off the walls and ceiling, completely eliminating dead zones in the room. It utilizes deep-pitched aerodynamic blades and a tightly focused front grille to shoot a concentrated beam of air an astonishing distance across the house. It also includes comprehensive smart app controls, ultra-precise speed stepping, and a whisper-quiet DC motor that practically guarantees zero mechanical vibration even at peak output. Turning this machine on for the first time is a jaw-dropping experience. The sheer force of the air it produces is staggering, yet it operates with a smooth, low-frequency hum that is incredibly soothing. By pointing the fan straight up at the ceiling, I was able to create a massive convection current that effectively lowered the ambient temperature of the entire room evenly, rather than just blasting a single chair with cold air. It is very difficult to find any fault with this machine, though its slightly bulky fan head does require a bit more physical clearance from walls than a slim tower fan would. The TurboPoly Fan 353 is a masterclass in air circulation engineering, providing industrial-level cooling power wrapped in a sophisticated, consumer-friendly package. 1. DREO TurboPoly Fan 512. Pulling this flagship model out of the box, you can instantly feel the premium craftsmanship. It features a heavy, perfectly balanced, height-adjustable pedestal base and a beautifully designed turbine head. I set this up in the center of my home, fully expecting it to outperform everything else we had looked at, and it somehow still managed to exceed my highest expectations. The 512 model takes everything great about the 353 and amplifies it, boasting an omnidirectional air tracking system that meticulously sweeps every single square inch of your living space with customized, targeted airflow. It features an insanely powerful, custom-built brushless DC motor capable of launching air distances exceeding 100 feet, ensuring that even the furthest corners of an open-concept home receive fresh, circulating breezes. It pairs perfectly with the DREO app for granular control over every single variable, including a perfectly engineered sleep mode that turns the display off and reduces noise to a literal whisper. Living with a TurboPoly Fan 512 completely negates the need to run central air conditioning on all but the absolute hottest days of the year. The wind it generates is incredibly dense and focused, feeling more like a refreshing natural gale than the artificial, choppy output of traditional fans. It operates with a level of silence that is almost confusing given the massive volume of air it moves, allowing you to watch movies or sleep soundly while a hurricane of cooling power cycles through the room. If you are looking for the absolute best, no compromises cooling experience that money can currently buy, the DREO TurboPoly Fan 512 is in a league entirely of its own.